This episode is brought to you by Cube Gallery, a progressive art space in Cebu, Philippines, providing network and exhibit opportunities for contemporary artists with whom they work closely with and promote beyond the
Team
local
Sibol,
reach. This month at Cube, Sio Montero's homecoming exhibition entitled Finding the Calm in the Chaos, curated by Ricky Francisco. Join them for the artist reception on Wednesday, February 5 at 6 p.m. Also on view is the exhibition Vecindad by Impressionist artist Jose Marie Picornell. For viewing or to request a catalog, contact Pia at 0918-807-4175.
Thank you also for introducing me.
Lastly, Cube Gallery also presents its exclusive online anniversary show titled Past the 7-Year Itch. Despite this playfulness, this show recalls the past exhibitions of a no longer fledgling art gallery. Referenced in popular culture, the 7-year itch refers to the period of unrest that comes after trials, false starts, reboots, and introspection to arrive at the realization that the question, what's next, needs to be addressed. This show is not only a reminder of all that is good, but also a commitment to stay on course. Mindful of the gallery's significant contributions to the Southern Philippine contemporary art landscape. Access the online exhibition on artsy.net/cube-gallery. Links in the show notes. This podcast is also brought to you by Destination Specialists. It's one of the longest-standing travel agencies in Cebu. And for all my travel needs, I go to Destination Specialists. It's the travel agency that delivers happiness. You know, my friends make fun of me because they know that I probably have no idea how to buy a ticket. Like literally, I've never bought a ticket online or over the counter or anything. Usually, I just call Destination Specialists. I tell them I want to leave on this date. What's the best deal? And boom, it's done. So they have 2 branches. The first branch is located at the upper ground level, SM City, Cebu, North Reclamation area. It's above the food court. And they have another one in the second level of the North Arcade in Manila Town Center. It's above Dim Sum Break. So for all your travel needs, you can call Destination Specialists at 032-2312-461 or follow them on social media. They have a beautiful Instagram page at Destination Specialists, or send them an email, destinationcebucorpo@gmail.com, or follow them on Facebook, Destination Specialists. All the links in the show notes. Let's get to the show. Welcome to 032 Conversations, the podcast where we talk to creatives, see how they live, and how they do their work. I'm your host, Carlo Villarica. It's February. So most of my interviews, in fact, a lot of my interviews are recorded months and months and months in advance. So the last one with Sir Junks Muanya, by the way, that one exploded. Thank you, Sir Junks, for doing the interview. The last one with Sir Junks Muanya, that was actually recorded like mid-December or early December. So this one with Jess Tamboboy, or popularly known as Jack the Reaper, this one was actually recorded for 2020. So this is the first real 2020 interview. I'll talk about Jess a little bit later on, but just a little behind the scenes of what happens here on the podcast. So this is usually I try to schedule a lot of interviews before they're actually out. So I have a lot in the barrel. So I don't need to rush for interviews. And then that's what I tried to do for January. And one thing led to another. It was a busy January for me. And also some of the guests that I reached out to had to change schedules all of a sudden. So Jess was actually my only January 2020 interview. Fortunately, it's early Feb and I've already gotten one or two February interviews. So hopefully to get some more in just to catch back up on that queue. And January was really busy for me. Like my friend McCoy was here, Mark Cortez. I got a podcast with him too, like a year ago or 2 years ago. And so he was here. So we played a couple of gigs. We practiced a few times. So that took some time. It was really fun. We played as Rescue a Hero, of course. And most of the guys from Rescue a Hero couldn't make the gigs. But But a few weeks ago, it was this rare day when everyone from the band, all my good friends, were here in Cebu. If you don't know who the band is, it's me, Carlo, McCoy, Jason Almendras, and Jeremy Lim. We have a podcast out, a Rescue Hero podcast. It's one of my favorite podcast episodes. You probably won't learn anything, but it's just us shooting the shit, as I'd like to say. Basically talking nonsense for an hour and just having so much fun. I've listened to that episode a number of times. It just makes me happy to listen to it. It's what's cool about just hanging out with your best friends. You know, it's just really fun. So, but we were all here. So it felt like like a few weeks ago we were all here. It felt like a throwback to 10 years ago. We, hung out, spent time, but the difference from the last time we hung out is this time we booked the jamming studio. Thank you, Paulo de la Victoria, for the rehearsal space, and then we just jammed for like 2 hours. It was so much fun. I left the practice space with my ears ringing. It was so much fun. And in the evening of that day, we went to Room 11, recorded a song, and hopefully we'll have it out in a couple of months or so. I'll announce it. But like this is one of those songs that I've been wanting. I've been itching to record for years. And we finally did it. It was really good. Yeah. I mean, we're not going to get anything out of it, I mean, we're not doing this music thing even as a part-time career, or even as a passion project. But it was just a fun way to spend time together as friends. It's really good. Consider supporting the 032 podcast from buying merchandise from the Assembly online. Head over to assembly.032.com. You can get 20% off if you use the promo code CONVERSATIONS. I'll put a link in the show notes, but if you use the promo code CONVERSATIONS, you get 20% off any 032 merchandise, unless it's pre-selling or something. But it's a really good way to support the show, and we deliver it to your doorstep. Head over to assembly.032.com, 20% off. Use the promo code CONVERSATIONS. So finally, in this episode, I talked to Jess Tamboboy, or popularly known as Jack the Reaper. I was able to connect to him because after my conversation with Gamma Ray, she said she has two friends that might be a good interview. And one of them was Jess. And Jess was, he worked on the SEA Games. He was a manager for Team Sibol, the Esports team under Starcraft 2. And they won the gold medal. They know what they're doing. So Jess was the manager. I wanted to talk to him about that. I just wanted to get a sense of what the SEA Games was like too, or what esports is like. So Jess Tamboboy, or Jack the Reaper, he works in Tier 1 Entertainment. We talk about that. In fact, the episode starts with him talking about it. But before we get to that episode, before we get to the interview, if this is your first time to listen to 032 Conversations, consider subscribing. We have a new episode every Tuesday. Let's get to that episode with Jess.
Tier 1 Entertainment.
Yes.
What's on a Tier 1 Entertainment?
Tier 1 is a gaming agency, mostly because aside, like if you think about traditional agencies for advertising, it's like normal media like print and radio, TV, stuff like that. So Tier 1 is one of the forerunners for that's focused on the gaming industry. So it's an agency where people can go there to get opportunities within the gaming industry. So mostly right now we have streamers, which is the bulk of the people that we handle. And then, just recently we launched the Pro Division. So now we're gonna be managing teams, professional teams. And then just recently as well, on my side is we recently launched like a Path to Pro. So it's gonna be a series of tournaments for specific titles wherein players can participate in those while not actually being fully committed already. Like just their normal stuff. Kanang mura siya path jud ba nga. You take this and then once you start participating, you be committed, and then you're consistent, and then once we see that what your capabilities and then your attitude towards your craft and discipline, then we will award you with a contract under us. So it's one of the discovery processes for the industry on our side.
Kaya I can't. Ako ba, when I was gaming before ba, murag di ko kay, like before mag-gaming ko niya, ma-guilty na gani ko I'll be guilty na noon nga murag I'm spending so much time playing video games, and then now lingaw na kay siya kay it's like the way you talked about it ba, it's almost matter of fact ba nga murag mo niya atong buhaton and
like,
and then you get a contract and then
legitimacy and
you get what I'm saying. It's so strange for me to hear it in that context ba, no? I don't know, like are you like, I don't know how old you are,
I am 27 actually.
27. Oh, so like when you were like, is it right? So usually a lot of these pro gaming athletes, they're like much younger, di ba?
Actually, si Caviar Ender is same age as us.
Ba?
Yeah, it's just that people have different situations and circumstances surrounding their lives. So in his case, is he had his friends, which are also my friends within the gaming community, and he helped niya to bolster. And then
so Caviar won.
Well, he was the winner of the SEA Games gold medal for Starcraft 2.
For Starcraft 2, okay. Yeah.
I was his manager for the team. So, the team was called Team Sibol. Then that was for the collective Philippine team. And then for each title, they were assigned managers and coaches. So, I was assigned for Starcraft 2. And yun na siya. Like, from the past, like, we basically started pretty much the same because pareho may edad. So back then he had the time and the support to continue playing, while sa uban siguro, and also in my case kay not that much.
Yeah, once you get older, responsibilities pile up.
Yeah, as I usually say, life happened.
Oh, yeah.
And then but not necessarily we were given different opportunities man. So of course we proceeded in different paths. So siya ni padayon siya sa Yanduwa, and then I went on with my school and everything, and then but I still was involved in the gaming community. So part sa siguro sa ako ang like going back to where I started, I was like when I decided to try to compete, Jude, though I started practicing, I started devoting time for it, and then of course not noon wala sa tanong nabiyaan akong kuan until such time na
wala nabiyaan mong studies.
Studies. Pero namutay time good nga. Sorry. Na nakahunong ko not because of the gaming. So basta nakahunong lang ko ato o one sem, and then from then on, sa kato siya nga time ni shift ako focus to kato gaming and music. Kay momentan time I jokingly said to my mom, God bless her soul, she just passed away. So said to my mom na my mom said nga nanawag akong papa niya. I jokingly said to her nga, na papalit ko gitara. Then the next day gipalitan na day ko.
Oh, ba?
So pagbalik ka to.
Sure, the guitarist of Forgetful Bob.
Yes,
right?
Shout out to them. And tiwas na to recording.
Oh, yeah, so, I really like the music.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So moto siya, and then the first tournament I actually participated in, I don't know if it was the first or the second, I actually won. So moto lang kay feeling, di ba nga, nakadaog ko, so like I can do this, nana. And then later on kay sa scene mong good sa Starcraft 2 kay it's hard to get into, especially that time kay bugat kay ang requirements sa PC. Then that time is same pa sa Ragnarok before nga mopalit pa ka og game time just
really?
to play. At that time.
Okay.
At that time. It was either you pay for like 3,000 pesos for the full game, or you can have like the cards for game time.
Hey, Margam mentioned this bitaw, like na card ang Starcraft.
Yeah, before. So, and also at that time, kay I was part-time working na sad. So, whatever I earned, I used for my allowance, and then if na mo squeeze gamay, kay schedule mo na ako, Monday to Friday, di ko maduwa. Yeah, trabaho sa kuha na. So, by Friday, mapalit ko 3 days worth of game time para Friday, Saturday, Sunday, ako magduwa.
Suliton.
Suliton din ako. So, dito na sa siguro, sugod ako marag time management nga aspect sa akong pag-run sa akong life or something. And then, later on, pag whittled down sa mga events, I said like, ano man eh. So, like, in order for me...
What do you mean, nag-whittle down sa mga event?
Kay, katong mga event, kay, naman na yung marag, kanabit itong hype, like, inig first, nga, ula, daghan kayo mga tournaments, daghan kayo mga inanda.
So after a while, marag, as anything, marag ni na kayo daghan tournaments.
Hindi na kayo daghan. And then, I asked myself, kung anong inani man eh, maybe, wala na yung ganahan mo buhat. So, I took it upon myself nga, yun ko nga, okay, so, kung wala man dyan mahitabo nga competition, kung wala mo himo. So, a couple of my friends, which is including si Gamma dito, kay they made an organization nga mo organize og events, and then they were mostly focused sa Dota 2 because Warcraft Dota that time kay mo may kusog, but naara gyapon mi community sa Starcraft, but dili sila maka-focus. So niyan ako nga, or I think they offer sila basta something like nagkasinabot rami nga appeal ko dito niya ako mohandle sa Starcraft as well as everything nga kaya nako. And then, later on, kay nidako siya, which was, I don't know if you remember, we had events from 2012, 2013, and 2014 dito sa SM, where nga nasagol-sagol, mga gaming events like cosplay and stuff. And we actually brought international teams.
Mo ba?
Yeah. Sa 2014 nga event, like teams from Korea, South Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, nana. And then, I was part of the organizing committee there. So, kato siya nga time na involved na jud ko siya, na involved na jud ko. And then, when I graduated, I was also offered a position which was...
So, this was before you graduated?
Yeah, before I graduated. Kay, maon na to ang akong hobby. So, it was like school, music, and then kato gaming.
Okay.
Kay, sa case na ako, before... although katong ni try po ko og compete kay ang lisod man sa gihapon tuloy kay like I mentioned before katong bugat ang mga requirements for Starcraft niya mostly Dota ra mga kuan. Even though we had like a PC and internet connection at home, as much as I'd want to, dili man sad ko makabuot-buot ako ra usa. So like when I tried to play ni mokalitrag lag, so wala ko isay ana. So it's better off nga like just to keep the peace as well as kuan kay I also had other things to do. So if I couldn't do that, I shifted my focus on other things.
On the organizing side of it.
Organizing side kay it didn't need like dedicated nga kuan inana. And then
it's interesting, no? Kay still in gaming ba? Yeah, there's all these other things that you can do apart from actually playing.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually usa na sa mga thrust sa mga company karon kay it's like it's not just playing. Which is why kato ni help bolster mi sa streamers. Actually, ang kanang streamers kay baguhay na ni boom mga 1 year ago. Like they stream their gameplay for people to see. And basically, for me, the way I saw it is like it started as mga professional players nga ganahan mo share sa ilang knowledge to other people who also want to play. Diba? So like they broadcast their gameplay for other people to study and learn. And yan na siya.
Yeah, but there's also like built-in, diba, like Twitch.
Yeah.
You do Twitch, there's built-in ways to make money ba?
Yeah, exactly. So before, I'm not sure if unsa jud ang case before, but from where I started like watching that, like going back to my drive before na mag-competitive. So every time I had the chance, actually when I was doing the part-time, I was working in a internet cafe / booking agency. And my shift was early in the morning. So 5 a.m. lakaw ko from Iscarrio, and then I had to travel to Talamban. And then there I had my work for 3 hours, and then after I'd go to school for until around 8 or 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. So during that short time between 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. I would like load videos from previous broadcasts so that I could study while wala pa'y tao dito.
Okay, sayo kayo.
Sayo kayo. So that's what I did before. And then with regards to Twitch, sad kay live man siya good and people like to interact with the broadcaster and whatnot. And then kato ang money making na scheme kay murag nisud siya around a few months siguro later kay naka-realize sila nga they can like it's another possible stream of income.
What year was this? Like
I think mga 2011, 2012 yapon.
Fairly recent if you think about it.
Yeah, and then karon na ang FB, Facebook, which is ni-launch sila sa ilang Facebook gaming mga 1 or 2 years ago. I am not pretty sure, but yeah, so ano siya?
We're in competition to Twitch, di ba?
Yeah, something like that. And kana siya. And then eventually ni-evolve ang streaming na from like pro players wanting to share their knowledge of the game to actual entertainment.
Yeah.
Entertainment like people want to watch so that they can be entertained and not just to learn.
That's true because like I mentioned like when I was a kid grabe I was really into gaming. It's like I was one of the first people to have a computer. Okay, my dad was like a nerd. No. But then bad kay kog time management. You mentioned that kanina. So bad kay kog time management kamurag it was really taking up a lot of my time but wala kay ko nag-focus sa school ano ba. So when I went to college I realized if I bring a nice PC if I download games kalanganin kaya so wala ko nibutang og games akong computer niya. I made a rule for myself nga no games my computer. The other computers lang ko mo play. So then after college wala ko gaming niya. A few years ago I started playing Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
Ganahan kay kog Hearthstone ba. But then I realized, so sige ko duwa. Then I remember, I don't know how it came about, but all of a sudden I was watching YouTube videos on Hearthstone. And that's what the streamers would do is they would, after the stream, sometimes they'll put it on YouTube.
Yeah, as VODs.
A lot of it was like, kanang more 30 damage in one turn. So entertainment like value na. So like, I realized, kuya na anyway, it's a real thing, but like it's the first time I saw a game a person talking over the game.
Like camera.
Kuya na. If you look at it, you kept watching more, and I was like, wait, this is a real work. It sounds like they're earning money. This is all they do every day. And it's a real. They were talking about like tournaments. Sometimes even the people who win the tournaments they're not. My perception at first was like the streamers were really good, but actually not necessarily. Diba? I'm sure it's true also for Starcraft.
Yeah. Before again, when people played. And then it was an alternate source of money because using like the Korean professional scene as an example because they really started it since like 2000s and stuff. So apart from their actual training routine within their gaming house and then their team, they stream to make additional money as well as of course I think what drove you sa katapagtan-on mo sa videos because like when you tried to play, you were thinking like, oh, how did he do that? Or what happened? Or how can I do this? Or
you want to get better.
Yeah, you just want to get better. So, kato siya, when monetization came sa Twitch, they looked into it for additional sources of income. So, apart from the actual gameplay, some pros would like save their replays and then send them out to subscribers after specific periods of months if they would subscribe. So that's also one way to like spreading your knowledge to the people. Like they have the replay file and they could have all the time they could invest into studying it and learning how to do what you do and
even
do it better.
Even posting it to YouTube, there's monetization there.
Yeah, so YouTube said.
Yeah.
So kana siya. And then going back to na not necessarily ang mga streamers kay mga competitors kana. Not necessarily not streamers are the competitors and all the competitors can be streamers.
Because some people because inherently they're good so people want to watch the really good. players man sad gyud. No? So for example, like, so for StarCraft 2 bay, how is it like, can you, because I remember StarCraft was actually one of my very favorite, the first one.
Yeah.
Because I one of my very favorite, what do you call that, strategy based games. So there was a time where everyone played StarCraft, no? I'm gonna, like 1990s.
Yeah.
No? Or like early 2000s but then I was reading up a little about it. It seems like it's not the most popular game these days, or like it's up there. But in terms of the esports games, what's the most popular one?
As far as I know, it's League of Legends.
Okay.
The one that who was that? I think was that some developer of the Warcraft Dota before nagikuha sa Riot. And then next would be like the top 3 would be Dota 2, League of Legends, and CS:GO.
What's that?
Counter-Strike.
Okay,
Global
Counter-Strike.
Offensive.
Yeah.
So, ano siya? In terms of sa StarCraft, it actually like went ahead of its time. So like it was one of the very first esports titles, like competitive gaming titles nga ni boom jud back then before gi-release ang Dota 2. And then once gi-release ang Dota 2, since more people were playing it, of course, naturally mas nikuan jud siya kay sa StarCraft 2 kay 1v1 na siya. If you were to like broadcast it, people would just watch in one PC, right? And then if it were Dota 2 or League of Legends, for each player na naa sa game, they could have like an equivalent to another person watching it.
Inherently, there's just more people.
Yeah, more people. And then, going back to what I said nga, it's pretty hard to get into aside sa specs kay
Katulad like that had that card system,
like it's double-edged sword nga ikaw usa. Like, if you were to play, everything that happens kay it's all on you. If you lose, it's all on you. If you win, it's all on you. So, muna siyang double-edged sword niya.
It's like it's a solo sport.
Yeah.
As opposed to Dota or League of Legends, where it's a team game.
In CS:GO.
I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Because so when you play StarCraft 2 competitively, it's 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
Kaya no?
Naidaghan sa nun yung mga team formats, but ang game jud mismo is 1v1 jud.
So the one in C games, 1 versus 1
1 versus 1, yeah.
Okay.
And granted sa kay Caviar that he's been playing for a very long time. So it's just like a culmination sa iyang kuan with all the recognition and all the basta tanan ngayang nadawat karon. And good luck to him kay he's actually gonna finish his studies.
Oh yeah.
Kay karon enroll na siya sa OGT, so good luck sa iya.
Oh, great. But obviously he has a career also. No?
Well, so saya siyang attitude sad. Kay one good thing about that is ganahan siya mo focus sa isa lang. So that time nga ni full-time siya, kay ni full-time di siya duwa. Like he put his all there. And then once ni decide siya na mo focus siya balik siyang studies, if na opportunity sa gaming, want to siya, but priority niya yung studies.
Yeah.
Karon.
So he's smart about it.
Yeah.
Not half and half.
Yeah. Ato. And then he's actually studying to be a game developer. So, within na gyapon sa scope sa gaming, isa yung interest.
So, I want to talk a little bit about the C games. So you were a team manager?
Yeah.
Was it team manager or coach?
Manager. The coach was another friend of mine, si Mark. But basically, more on the resource management side ko. And then more on the gameplay side siya. But of course, mo tabang na sa gyapon ko sa gameplay as well as kanang mga disposition of mga mental and emotional nga state sa players.
I want to talk about that because that's fascinating to me. But I wanna first get to like how did you become a manager in the C games?
So
like how does that happen?
I think it was something like planetary alignment or whatever. Basta it all happened. I'm not sure if coincidentally, but daghan kay na timing. Kay like I said, I started doing the like management and organizing side sa esports event mga 2012, and doing it every year because actually I was also managing or handling the national teams for an international competition which happens annually. And this year it was in Korea. And we went there. Last year was in Taiwan. So through those years, I've been active in the organization called Philippine Esports Organization. And then in that is I was handling like the qualifiers and the actual getting the players to the international events. So during my time there, I knew the ins and outs of like
all these logistics.
Yeah, logistics kana. And then like talking to the players and then managing their expectations. And then basically coordination and communication within that. And I was doing that while I was studying, and then when I graduated, while I was also having a full-time job. So there was a time when being a part of that organization, we had to organize a series of events that were a week apart, like every weekend. So that time I was able to go all around the Philippines. So getting experience from there, and then now when I was offered the job again sa Tier 1 this time sa Tier 1 Entertainment na, i-decide na ko nga mo full-time na dito. And then once I got there, of course, during my time sa Katonga org is I met a lot of people and then worked with a lot of people as well. So kana siya mga connections are within that. Then once I decided to resign from my full-time job here and then move to Manila for that esports job, ni timing man nga na hitabo ang SEA Games. Although we already knew na may possibility, but wala pa sure.
That there would be esports.
There would be esports. It would be recognized. So once na finalize na to dito, I got a call from one of the main organizers, and then he asked me na, because every time I see him, kaya sila man nag-handle sa qualifiers ato, under nila. And then every time magkita mi I would bring up nga, oh sir, kailan yung qualifiers, when the qualifiers will be, because I will be preparing na kasi I wanted to play. And then he just called me and then he said na, oh, we're gonna release the info. If we were gonna release the info soon, will you join? Yes sir, definitely.
Okay, but you thought as a player?
Yeah, as a player jud ang first nga na to, intention. But then he suddenly said na, what if I'll make you the manager of the team? And I'm like, oh, okay. And like looking back, everything I've done, it's like sort of like preparation, or
it
like
made sense, Rosad.
Yeah, it made sense. Nga all I did before was pretty much same sa gi-offer na job, and then for me, I really want to help. So, because being a player, you actually help in the winning. Like you play the game, but also in the back end side, you help the player to win. So, if you think about it, if manager and then coach or whatever na back end side, you're still part of the team.
Yeah.
No? So I'm like, oh, okay, since ako may gi-offeran, so why not?
Okay.
At least
but
part
wasn't there a part of you that wanted to play?
There was, but unfortunately, that was the time when life was happening.
Okay.
Circumstances didn't really dictate na makapractice ko. Okay, I planned to buy my PC 2018 and I just finished it last month. Actually.
Oh, really?
Planned to buy my PC, and then the time to practice wasn't there because I had one full-time job and then the part-time job. Because before I went full-time with Tier 1, I was part-time there. So, from Peso to Tier 1, mga part-time jobs, I really didn't have that much time. And then, ang PCs. And then, even though, like, back then, when we had internet connection, was 1 Mbps, then 3 Mbps, and then 5 Mbps.
Okay, klaro.
Yeah. And, okay raman siya, but if ikaw ra usa. But, daghan mo mi sa balay. And then, there was a time when my brother helped me to my brother helped me to kanang training sa gyud sa akong like mga finances or whatever. He bought 2 units for kanang bitaw pisonet. So those units actually helped me through my last sem sa college. So I would take my allowance from
50
there.
net, like a internet cafe?
Yeah, ako so,
like 5 minutes?
Yeah, kana.
Okay. yeah.
So, kana sad, using my knowledge sad sa katong mga gipang buhat na ako before, so I set it up myself. Then ako nag-manage, me and my mother and my sister. And then, I would get my allowance from there. So, granted na natong internet sa balay, but naaman say nagmagamit sa taas. So, if mag-practice ko, maguba siya ng practice. Mag-away, jud. And if you think about it, asa man yung priority na ko, ang practice na ko, which is not sure ang kuan or katong income generating. So, hatag sa ako dito. Then, going on nga time and resources, jud. Like, it didn't dictate na I could play. Pwede na ako mo appeal for fun. And I know nga ma-eliminate ragi hapon ko. But if I know that I could do so much, that's why I took it.
Yeah, and also I think it's like just being honest to yourself, but like you knew, the cards were not there for it to be done properly.
Yeah.
So you may as well give that slot to somebody who can deserves it. Good. And at the same
time, do more.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's not like you were given this job, out of the blue. You were already doing this job.
Yeah.
So that's how you became. So you mentioned a little bit about like the cognitive side of the player and managing that. So
sorry.
What's one of the, because I know so there's a quote, you're actually quoted somewhere in the internet. It says it doesn't really have a physical requirement because you can see around us that players are short, tall.
That's mine.
That's your quote.
Okay.
A little bit, maybe a little bit thin, maybe a little bit fat. But all they have in order to qualify to play for these types of titles are just their cognitive and mind skills. So how do you, like in your role as a team manager, what were you doing? Because you actually mentioned it earlier, diba?
It's just to put the players in the best position to win.
So what does that mean?
If I take myself for example, it's like I had so many things to worry about, right? Like ang connection, ang akong PC, how to get there, or like the schedules, mga inana. So my responsibility sa team manager is like to not let them worry about those. So we set up with the upper management, we set up the training area, and then during that time, it was one of the first heavily covered events. So like there were interviews everywhere, there were guestings everywhere, and there were shootings and whatnot. So
what year was this?
Just recently,
leading
to the SEA Games.
Leading to the SEA Games.
So, using the name manager. So, I managed all those for the team and just have the players focus on their game. Like, schedule interview, and then I would say like as much as I could be there with them, I actually did. Like, ready na mo, agi unta mo dira, ato ta dito, and then ikaw man kaunta niya. Balik dayon, mga na. And then, with regards sa mind skills kay ang focus mo good. Focus like I mentioned sa case ni Caviar na ganahan siya mo focus siya on one thing para wala na siya on, and then of course it bode well for him because he actually won. And then my other player Justin, also known as Nox, he's actually also finishing up his medicine degree, so he's going to be a doctor soon. And during that time sa training period sa SEA Games, he was doing his clerkship. So every day, he would go to the hospital, do his duty there, and after his shift, he would go to the training center and then play there until 4 or 5 hours or until kanus-an yung makaya. So, ako role dira is just to tell them na pag-arrange sa training facility daan, and then pag-adjust sa mga schedules for the interviews, for the shoots, and then
so all the players had to do was show up. They just had to show up. Dili na sila maghuna-huna. Makuha pa tag taxi.
Palit
pa tag Jollibee, whatever.
And then kana sang kuan, like I would I would present to them solutions like kanahan sila mo training inana niya. I'm like, oh, so anin lang ato himuon. Kanang like I provide them with options with kanang best case scenarios pa. Best case and worst case scenarios para either way maandaman na mo with whatever.
What do you mean?
Result.
Can you give like a specific example?
For example, na tournament.
Okay.
And then naingon ang nagkuan nga, oh, dapat mo maari. So, moingon ko nga, if maari mo dito, if mo ato mo sa interview, you'd have kaning amount of time to go to the training and then prepare. But thinking about it, excuse me, you should have this amount of time to prepare. So, pwede ni na to ipa-reschedule ang interview para makafocus mo sa duwa. Or, if you want, nga dili na dyan madadi to, kato niya, but ato na lang ta sa pikas mo try o kuan. Ato na lang sa pikas area mo, duwaon ni mo tournament. Ano mga inana ba?
Yeah, because they need, like, if there's an interview too close to the tournament, it might be a problem because they also need time to prepare, refocus. How long does it usually take? Kanang, and then, like this high, you know, it's kay me, and I think most people ba, I think the perception is, you're playing a video game, and then, you know, you, naghugas ka, and then you sit down, you do your chores, whatever, and you sit down and you play. But I think, especially esports, were really, it's, you know, it's your mind, it's really your brain. I wonder if there's like a level of like, you know, hours before the actual game, nga murag they're just trying to, I don't know, meditate ba, or just focus, or just try to get rid of distractions. Kaya diba, like, you can't, I don't know, I mean, I might be wrong, ha? Pero like, I can't imagine there's a tournament and then, hala, hapit na tama late, guys. Nya, dagan-dagan just taxi, nya, you know, heart's pumping. That can't be good for the...
Yeah. Actually, na-take time sa dito nga, nagsige sila borderline nga mo reklamo na pa doong dugay kayo, inana. And I was just like, lagi, kuan, it's not our fault. So, kuan na mo, chill na sa mo, relax. Ako lang bahalaan eh. Ano sila?
Just, like, dugay kayo ang actual game.
Ano siya.
Gahuwat ra sila.
Gahuwat ra sila. And I'm like, kaon sa mo dito, na food dito gi-provide. So, ato sa mo dito, niya ako restoryan nila, may follow up lang tamo, may update lang tamo. So, basta kamo, relax sa mo dara. And then, sa kato sa dispositions at kay, of course, daghan mo kay sila questions niya ang mga players. Like, even before, take for example, again, si Caviar na, before siya nisugot, na mag full-time dito, kay he was actually, I think he mentioned already na he had a choice na mo focus fully sa SEA Games or mo enroll sa siyang OJT para mahuman na niya para makagraduate na siya. And then, it was like mga 1 or 2 weeks nga. Sige, may back and forth ng story. Nga nga. Kuhan, he asked me if worth it ba niya. Anak ko nga, if makadaog ka, worth it siya.
Well, what happens if makadaog ka?
He had a huge cash incentive.
Yeah, diba the Philippines gives it. Pila gani, like $1 million if it's gold or something? Or
sa private sponsor na mga ikan na $1 million. And then napailain. Actually, daghan sila nga ni pledge. As far as I know, sa katong Cebu team na to, kaya ang Cebu City sa ginihatag sa daw.
Okay, so like, worth it, good.
Yeah, worth it, good. If makadaog dyan siya.
If makadaog,
And then, like, talking to the upper management, talking to the players niya, ako nga, unfortunately, like, sometime before siya ni Koan kay nihatag siya expectations, ninaingon ko nga, as much as I'd want na ma-meet na siya, maura ni mahatag nila. So, niingon ko ato nga, sige, enroll na. And then the next day, niingon siya nga, Jack, wala na ko ni-enroll. Okay. Sige, so, full-time na dari. Full steam ahead. And then, ito, basta ang ilaha lang is, nagod sila peace of mind. Peace of mind nga makafocus sa silang game. As would any other athlete siguro.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, because I assume that when you say expectations, like there was, if he's going to like how many months before the SEA Games was this conversation?
It was 3 and 4, mga 3 to 4 months.
3 to 4 months.
So mga August, September na.
So let's say, like, you know, if he's going to devote his time doing that, I assume he has to be able to like eat. You know. So there's some sort of
benefits.
Some sort of benefit just to focus. I mean, you know, if you win, great. But,
leading
also,
up to that.
you don't know man good until you're there, di ba?
Yeah.
So, at least at least more you can't say I wasted. Di ba? Which is understandable, really, for anybody.
Yeah.
No, I think even I'm sure like a regular athlete, dapat inganaon yun.
So, and also, since gi-appeal mo siya sa SEA Games, and it's also one of the thrusts sa gaming industry nga ma-treat sila on par kay katong mga requirements and everything. Like, it could be like chess or something. Like, it could be compared siguro to chess, but more demanding sa hands mechanically.
Kasi,
actually, na-mention sila na sa line nga more demanding siya mechanically sa hands. Mostly sa hands. And also, if you think about it, if dili sa ka-healthy, dili mo sa jud ka makaduwa og tarong kay, for example, mag-slouch ka, sakit ng kalit imong whatever. Diba kay tarong exercise. Ako sa at that like nasa the time before na I developed like mild, amot lang if actual carpal tunnel, but there was a time when my hands were very numb, and that time I tried to play as well as do my full-time job, do all my jobs. So dapat ma-check sa dilahang actual nga physical nga health in order for them to perform properly.
Kada strange, no? You just think about, if you just like, kadang you're in front of the computer, but like there really is a physical component to it. I'm sure there's also like a fatigue component. I remember I remember when I was a kid, sometimes I'll be playing a game. I remember there was like Command and Conquer or something.
Command and Conquer.
And then I'm playing. And then I just realized, like pila na ka hours, ko ka lunch. Init na kayo sa gawas, and then I stand up. And then murag malipong ko. No? So there has
kana sad kay actually taking an example gyapon sa recent katong tournament na mo sa Korea. Our team, the Execration, was sa first day they did very, very well. Like they topped the group. They beat everyone else, beating even the team from Sweden, which was one of the heavy favorites, who actually won in the end. But sa second day kay daghan sa issue nga nahitabo. And then sa tournament setting man good, you can never know, like no matter how much you plan for it, you can never know what will actually happen.
Of course.
Kay for example,
like what issue, for example?
Like mga technical issues nga, since nagamit mo sila PC, dapat ready ang mga PC tanan. Kanya dili magkuan, like it can be as simple as napatira ng outlet nila paong tanan. And you had to reset everything, you had to set up everything again. So kana usa na siya mga issues nga maka-delay sa event. And then once nga ma-delay, of course, ang players imbis ganado na sila, kailangan pa sila maghuwat, magkapuyo na niya. Nasa circumstances na ay window for breaks, but nakaon siya tungod sa technical difficulties. So wala sila ka break and they had to play. And then katong nga actually daghan mga player nga reklamo nga wala daw sila nakaon sa kanang time. They had to play diretso. And then of course it takes a toll on you, dude.
On the organizer.
Yeah. Both on the organizer and the player side.
Yeah.
Kana, if wala kay breaks niya, diretso imong duwa. Wala man lay kanang bisag piyong nga sa mata or whatever. Or bisag kung makapiyong nga sa imong mata, dili na sa makamata kay giduka na ka. Ano may nana.
That's a real thing. Kana like fatigue. Good, no? Yeah, because I mean, you just staring at your computer all day can be problematic.
Sustained na inana, dude. Dili ka makabaro, di ka makastretch nana.
You mentioned like training center.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by training center? Like you had a place, like a physical location where niadto gid sila just to play.
Yes. I think it was featured. It was sponsored by Smart and Mountain Dew, and it was
the training center.
Yeah, the training center. But it was a facility na intended jud ato, but it was made by a company called Bren. So they made this whole esports facility and I dedicated rooms for players along with their coaches to just play and train.
In Manila?
In Manila. It's located in Makati.
Mo ba?
Yeah.
So like, I assume nindot kay siya.
Yeah, nindot siya actually.
It's like the best internet cafe ever.
Yeah, something like that. Ano siya. Okay, na siya dedicated na rooms and then they could like play in peace and whatnot.
Mo ba? So when you're like when these players are training, what are they doing? Is it just as simple as getting games in? Or are there very specific kanang, I don't know, in my head ba, like Starcraft, let's say like, let's manufacture this situation. Kaning a player will play like, I don't know, like, you know, back in the day, Starcraft, like, pwede ka mo, I don't know, rush.
Kanibuhato, no?
Or mo rush sila, or kani ang ilang build, napaghihapon na, like certain recipes sa builds.
Build order.
Like build order.
Actually, una lang gibuhat because prior sa SEA Games, Caviar also played in another international tournament, which is Southeast Asia gyapon ang coverage. So, it was like a gauge as to how the players would perform to the SEA Games because mostly same room na sila mo participate. So, when he got there, he only placed second. And then, once pagbalik niya, dito na din sila nagtinabangay sa usa na mo ka player more intensely. Which is what you said, play like this, you play like this. So, we figure out what to do in this situation. But, of course, taasa ng putting games in kay it trains you mechanically magud. Like, say mo mga routine, mga build order, and then, sa ladder sad kay Starcraft has its own ladder.
Okay.
So, you queue up, and then you get matched with players of even skill. And then, again, when you match up with them, you won't know what will happen. Of course, you have your own preparations, but not all games are the same. As much as you'd want to replicate each game to happen the same way. And, of course, there's the factor sa maps. So, different maps have different best case strategies and whatnot. And then, kana sang sustained nga playing, it also trains sa fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you like set, you play for 4 hours, see how you feel after that. Or like, in the 4 hours, how much, at which point would you want to take a break? Or at which point would come a feel na gikapoy na kanya, di na kaya. And then you try to replicate that. I think it's something sa ako ang software engineer na like test. Yeah. Let's see what works. Kung dili mo work, let's try to fix it and then test again. So, ano siya? Mo na ang gibuhat dito sa training facility.
That was so let's say that's interesting to me, like the number of hours, like the SEA Games, for example. How long is a typical game?
For Starcraft, a game can end as early as 3 minutes, and it also can last as long as an hour plus. And in an RTS genre, 1 hour is already very, very long. So, sa case sa SEA Games, barring technical difficulties, for example, wala technical difficulties, kay mo last siya og mga, if average kay 30 minutes ang game, 30 minutes na lang, and then there's like 3 rounds at the first, so that's 1.5 hours.
Okay, yeah, that's rounds, okay.
And then the next round, which is ang katong playoffs na, would last for like another 4 to 5 hours, barring technical difficulties. So
this is straight, more or less.
Straight. And it would be against different people.
With very minimal breaks in between.
Yeah. As much as possible, like we have to end on time, kay, of course, running an event costs something. So, ano sad? So, ano siya?
No? So you can see, let's say, like after 4 or 5 hours or 6 hours of continuous gameplay, this person's ability to make the right decisions or, or speed to do whatever mo degrade good.
Yes. Najay. Unless kung train ka nga, mauna na siya. Kay, sa case ni Caviar, nasa the time na, when he was playing, kami na mga nasa audience, kinakaon na mi. I'm like, di pa kaganan mo ka na siya. Unya na, gumana. And that was 11. And he finished his rounds mga 3 p.m. na. And I think he skipped breakfast. So, wala sa siya lunch. So, until 3 p.m. nakaya niya. Na to.
So he's kind of used to that.
Yeah, he's used to that.
Yeah, ano?
Although it's not it's not a very healthy practice, like to say so, but na may circumstances na unavoidable jud. So better be prepared.
No, but it's nalingaw ko that aspect of like of that portion. You know, you don't think about that ba? You don't think about it at all. You think about like, kani akong build, whatever. But you don't realize that whole aspect outside of the game itself ba? No?
Yeah, it's very, very big. And,
so you mentioned like, so you're working for tier 1
entertainment.
And then tier 1 entertainment. So there's like a path to being a pro.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have like tournaments, and then if you do well, then tier 1 might possibly give you a contract to become a pro, and right?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to become a pro? Are there like pro level, like pro only tournaments, or?
With regards to qualifications, there's not much qualifications, but once you try to look at it, it would be very, very hard for you to participate in any tournament without support. So, if you have the raw talent, if you have the commitment, the discipline to actually get into this stuff, like any normal athlete, we tier 1 will support you in that.
Okay.
So, right now, just like I mentioned, we launched the Pro Division. So we already have a few teams, which I don't think I can say pa, but there's also that management side sa players and teams, because I'm not sure if you have read about kanang mga issues with regards sa teams and their players nga like unpaid salaries, mga unforwarded na mga prize winnings, mga responsibilities na wala na provide. And then our aim in that point is to again put the players in their best position to win. So mo ang trust dira nga side. So if we manage you, we'd want you to like focus on your game and then be the best that you can be. And then it's not also limited na we will give you a contract to play on us. So pwede rasad niya, we will manage you, but you will play for another team. But kami na mo manage mo para everything else outside sa game, kami na bahala.
Yeah. So I assume like in case there's winnings, there's a percentage that goes and then there must maybe a baseline salary of some sort, which is really, I guess, in the end, the players are really looking for that. No?
Yeah. Security.
Security. No? And then, especially now, there's like lots of ways to monetize in a way. So, not only, you don't have to get it only from winning tournaments, but,
yes.
No? This whole like ecosystem sa gaming ba? Kayo?
It's more siya gi-pattern na sa uban, but just the gaming part of it is the new one. Like, for example, paid media. Utang nimo sa TV. But on our case, to those streamers nga mag-stream, mention nila yung brand nila na. Like, just the injection of the gaming aspect is what makes it very enticing as well as probably difficult for others.
No, it's a very specific niche.
Specific. Yeah.
That's actually because that's a problem with like, let's say like
stuff.
Big media, like the typical traditional media. Okay, they're so used to reaching everybody, but the truth is now they don't really reach that as many people as they used to. But the prices are still really expensive. And then like, I don't know, who are the usual sponsors? Like anang computer manufacturers, or
mostly, but and then we mentioned before is Smart. Of course, Smart is like a telco, so they could like do stuff for Mobile Legends, like they did have promos or whatever. So it's still in their scope. PLDT, providers, Globe, and everyone else. And actually, more brands are coming in. For example, Mountain Dew. Because before it was like more energy drinks, And then there was...
Mountain Dew is like super high caffeine, di ba? Or
I'm not sure.
I think,
but,
more like, but that's good, right? Kanang you want...
yeah, like the official drink of the SEA Games, I think it
was.
Is it? Yeah.
Ah.
And then there's this like, I don't know if you noticed something from, I think it's from Coke, the Thunder Super Soda. It's like a soda / energy drink. So they sponsored an event by Mineski, which are also mga kaila rapod. They had an event last August sa Seaside. So kato siya, kana mga drinks, and then I remember back then we had a partnership with Dove Men.
Really?
Yeah, Dove Men. And then I saw something during sa among send-off event, which was something for Clear.
What's Clear, gani?
Clear shampoo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And there's actually one high-profile player from the Philippines na na-add dyan sa Clear.
Mo ba?
Yeah. Like, sa Facebook. Makita dyan ko na niya every time mag scroll down ko. Like, mga 20% of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So people are really focusing already on that niche.
No, they're exploring na.
It was one of the things I learned with my interview with Gam is that like that esports as the esports audience very specific. I think it was what's the most popular game again?
League of Legends.
I think like the League of Legends finals or something had more viewers than the NBA or something like that.
I think NFL.
Or
something like that.
Something like that. Like ridiculous. Like you don't.
Numbers.
Yeah, in terms of numbers, but like much more good the eye. No, so there really is a lot of attention in that.
Yeah,
that thing.
If you think about it, if you want to play in the NFL, you'd have to be tall. You have to run fast.
Or you have to be like really big. Or
really big. Or you have to be really strong. And for example, some Mobile Legends, you just buy a phone, install it. You can do it na. You don't have to be good.
I'll push back on that a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, let's say basketball. You have to be tall, fast, but presumably also in gaming, you have to have like this super high level of hand-eye coordination or ability to do. Like I remember like seeing players. I tried to play like Counter-Strike. I wasn't really good at it. But sometimes you see these players who are really good in Counter-Strike. All they see is like a tiny little pixel. Igo na yun. You're like, yun sa man to nila.
Kana siya. I think it's like more on the hours played.
You think so?
Yeah. Because wala may mohinder nimo. For example, duwa ang basket sa inyong lugar, pareho mo katasa. But once nga isang ka dito sa Pikas Barrio, yan mga tag-as kayo, maglisod kag duwa.
Oh yeah. But you don't think that there's an inherent, like some people just have a better I really don't know. Maybe some people have a better hand-eye coordination, but it's like the same as being tall. Or maybe
siguro talent lang sad. Or talent or genetics or whatever, or something like that. But of course, talent can only get you so far. You'd have to work on it.
That's true. Even in basketball. No, I wonder if I'm wrong na noon. Okay. Mona, I was wondering if there is some people born with just, let's say, really high hand-eye coordination. I don't really know. Or is that something that is learned? I don't know.
Siya, but hand-eye coordination, I think, is mostly on the mechanical aspect. But if you factor in like the strategy on what to do, muna na siya. Which goes with the familiarization with the R's that you put into it.
The game itself.
The game itself.
Yeah. So, well, we've been talking for a while. I wanted to make sure also that I talk a little bit about Forgetful Bomb.
Sige.
Yeah, bay. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Kay, when I first was able to listen, kay, so sige ko itong mga gigs, no? Nya karon wala na kaayo. Kay wala naman sa tuamong banda and everything, and then so I just don't get to go anymore. But every now and then tanaw gyapong Spotify nya kato si Ate Shak. Kailan ka Ate Shak? Doms is your name. Ate Shak posted I don't know, last year, a couple of months ago, about Forgetful Bomb. Like, she had good things to say ba? You know, ako kay mo respect ko sa iyang taste. So, ako, nindot nila. No? That's how I found out about Forgetful Bomb. But I don't know anything about you guys at all.
Okay, so it's my turn now.
I was wondering ba, like,
okay, usually si Doms mo buhatan eh. But sige. So, Forgetful Bob was formed around 2015 or 2014, but kuwang pa sila ato. But that time I was already an intern in the company. So we all started out from the same company, which is Kyocera.
Okay.
Dito mi nakita tanan, like our drummer Ethan, also known as Mars, si Daniel, Dean, bassist, and then si Doms, si Bob, then me.
So Doms is Bob.
Doms is Bob.
Okay. Okay.
So, Ethan was drummer na siya dugay na. And then Doms is of course he has his own mga side projects before, and then we just got together dito sa company.
Si Doms gid ang main songwriter ana tanan.
Now and then mo contribute me, but mostly sa mga parts kay amo. And then nagya po input of course si Doms and everyone else who producer.
But like the lyrics
lyrics si Doms mostly. So when they got into the company mga 2014, we had sorry. The company had a music club. So of course, mga music junkies ato dito tanan. And then that time I was still an intern and we had a gig sa Handurao Gordo before. So mo to ang first nga experience nako with the club. And then once na we got to know each other mga inana, and then it just so happened na sila tulo at first, drummer, vocals, guitar, and then bassist na ara niya. Si Ethan and Doms were like thinking, we need something else. We need a little bit more. Pag suod na naka dito, we hit it off na. And then it just so happened na recording studio si Mars, ang drummer, with EJ.
That's the one in Minglanilla, di ba?
Mars Band Studio. And then both of them actually already had quite a bit of material. So most of the stuff sa Sayonara na album has already existed for like a few years, and then dito ra jud nga time nga nahuman na mo. So ato
you recorded it all in that Mars Band.
Yeah, record, mastered, produced tanan dito tanan. So ato siya. It all started jud sa Kyocera nga music club.
Mo ba?
Yeah. We should just share the passion.
Yeah, that came out last year, di ba?
Yeah, March 2019.
Yeah, bay, nindot, bay.
Thank you.
Yeah, murag, sani ba? It was like, I remember telling my friends, akong kabanda sa Sauna there, I was like, bay, murag, it's like a modern, I was like, it's like the sound now, but like, but more, like, with like a little rock, a little alternative. I don't have a good sense of genre. I just say rock alternative every time. It's like distorted guitars.
I think it had mostly sa different influences na mo. Kay Doms is more, he had a lot sa hardcore, and he also has a lot sa like mga mellow stuff. And he's actually one of the most diverse na influences sa mga. And then si Mars, nasa siya iyang own nga style. Then si Dean kay same rason sila, but more on siya more on sa rock, and then then ako sad kay when I started out, I was like the first instrument I had was a piano, was a keyboard. That's where I actually learned. And then when I got the guitar, I also played the guitar sa kuya, which is ako naguba. And then when I had the guitar, I focused on more sa instrumental parts. So, different na mga influences, we all got together to like form that project. Sa tawag na. Kalimut ko sa term.
Band?
Dili, karang murag bitong something nga imong gi-work on jud very hard.
Oh, I don't know.
Basta something a project.
Passion project.
Kana, passion project. Passion project. Ano siya, motong dasa isa.
Pero na naman kas Manila.
Actually, I bring my stuff. Okay, so when I told them na move ko sa Manila, I was saying na okay ra gyapon ko, I won't leave. But for live gigs, kung naa ako dire, tukar ko, kung wala, pwede ra mo makuha og sub or stand-in, or pwede ra sa dula, depende na ninyo. But ang current arrangement is every time nga muuli ko dire, kay I actually do it more often than like kay I also have stuff to do for the company here. So
So you hear often?
Yeah. So when I'm here, na-gig, of course, motokar ko. Like, the 2 times nga nahitabo nga, like, wala ko practice dito but it turned out fine. And then, I bring my stuff there. Dito sa go, like, mag-practice on my downtime. And right now we're working on our second album. So record sila demo, and then I listen, and then, kung na ako dito, I think it's one way is I could record my own tracks. I could do the tracking there and send na ako nila, or mag-set sa kong time nga kung na ako diri wala ako sa studio niya dito ko mo record, so it's not that much kuan ang kato lang sa mga gig ra may mainly ma-affected.
Yeah, okay. So everybody else is here.
Yeah,
you're the only one left. So when's the new one coming out?
I'm not sure because mga tracks kay in the works pagya po ng mga tracks, but hopefully
the song's done.
Not yet, sad kay utangan po ko recording sad.
No, so, but like the songs lang itself ba wala recording
kuan. I think kuwang pa siya para may mo full length ka album, but it's in the works na. It's in the works. Maybe siguro I don't know about them, but once we actually get into it siguro, and using also our experience sa previous nga recording, di na siguro na nakadugay. Or maybe next year or something, or
I think the first one is the hard one in a way.
Okay,
murag baby
figuring out everything.
Ayan, baby pa sa kay nimo ba, so murag everything has to be. I don't know if you remember the first time you ever recorded, kay murag weird kayo, kirig pa kayo, ano ba?
No? Like pila pa ka takes before mahuman niya. Tan-an mo sa oras ngulo. Sa oras.
Yeah, katos I don't know, katos sa una like mo wala pa man ito home studio. So gabayad yung kas oras.
Bayad sa oras.
Kirig kaya niya. Ay, gusto niya.
Nagkichin nagtanaw ni mo ba? Na play.
Cancel akong 200.
So, ito. Actually, naku experience na sa una. I ended up not doing the part at all.
Amo ba?
Okay, kato, lagi. I wasn't in time sa beat, and then, sigo ko sayop sa chords. Yeah, ato, basta.
Isayo na lang
yun. Ningon na si Kuan nga, ako na lang sa niya, paminawan lang sa ako. Sige.
Gid na, like, the recording is kanang a different, totally different good from live, just playing live. Well, sige, bye. Thank you so much. Just to recap, katulagi, the path to pro as a gamer, possible na gid kaayo.
And not just the gamer itself, but also on the back end people. So everything else na pwede nimo that you can get a degree on, you can also work for it within the industry.
Amo lagi, if you really enjoy gaming, no? Yeah, but speaking of the industry, how big is it? Like, are you guys the only one doing this right now? Are there other people?
Actually, daghan, but we all know each other. So he does, they do their thing, we do ours. And then,
so there's also some competition.
Yeah. It's a healthy competition as far as I know.
No? Kaya wa So are there any like tournaments coming up that people should look up?
Okay.
For?
So on our end, like the ones I handle, we have several tournaments actually. We have one this Friday. Which is a Mobile Legends tournament. We have a 1v1 and 5v5, and then Project Ascent, the Immortal Cup, which is happening this Saturday, January 11, and then following Saturdays after that. And then we have Dota 2 1 versus 1, which is happening on January 13, and that's a Monday, and the subsequent Mondays after that. So you just go to mogul.gg/hub/tier1, and then you can find everything there.
Okay, yeah. I was going to ask you because I don't think this episode will be out by then. So you just go to that website and narrate schedules.
Yeah, nara dito tanan, feature dito. And then for updates, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/tier1entertainment, or just search it, tier1 entertainment. And then watch out for our album soon. Okay, Forgetful Bob. Okay, we're gonna release our album. we're still in the works. Okay.
Wait, what? Yeah, one other thing that I just thought of was, so, of course, like, there was a lot of preparation for the SEA Games last year, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
What's the next big esports tournament?
Actually, also kana akong attendan yung meeting tomorrow is also for something big, hopefully. So right now, we could also mention the IESF World Championship, which will be in Eilat, Israel.
Okay.
So last year it was in Korea, the other year was in Taiwan. So this time we're gonna go to Israel. Hopefully, walay ko ano mahitabo dito.
Lagi, kaya na-BSL's news run.
Lagi. So, kato. And then, I think ma-open na siya. Nga pwede publicly announce.
Okay. Where can people find you online by?
I'm on Facebook, Jack the Reaper, of course, and then I'm also on Twitter _JackDR and on Instagram, but I'm not that active in all those platforms actually. But if you would like to know something or something, you can just feel free to like message me or whatever, because I don't post that much, but I communicate there as well. Because mostly I see those as mediums for communications.
All right, thanks, bye, huh?
Okay.
As always, the podcast for me is an excuse to learn about communities that I know very little about. It's also an excuse to connect with people. And sometimes to even get a sense of what it might be like to be in someone else's shoes. Like competing in the SEA Games. Thanks, Jess, for the podcast. Thank you, Bai, for sharing your experience. Thank you, Cube Gallery and Destination Specialist, for sponsoring the podcast. The music from this podcast is Piano March by Audionautics. If you're still listening, if you get what we are trying to do here at 032 Conversations and you want us to continue doing it, consider supporting us on patreon.com/032. For a cost of less than a coffee a day. No, less than a coffee a month. Yeah, less than a coffee a month. For the cost of less than a coffee a month, you can help us a lot. So if you are one of our Patreon supporters, thank you so much. And also consider sharing this episode online on your social media. Tell your friends to start listening to podcasts. It's the best thing since sliced bread. The best thing since electric fans. The best thing since... it's the best thing. Podcasts are cool. All right. See you next Tuesday. Ciao. Bye.